let's get started. So, as you know, my name is Asher and Adam.
Oh, here comes Chris.
We are the with
Chris,
RCAP
come sit over here.
Solutions, and I am myself the Home Modification Loan Manager for Central Massachusetts that run the program, and Adam is the Marketing Manager for RCAP. So today we'll give you some information about the Home Modification Loan Program, and that way, hopefully, you can get a better understanding of what the program covers and how we can help families in the community with their needs. So the Home Modification Loan Program, first of all, it's a state-funded lending program that provides loans to homeowners and small landlords to fund necessary changes to keep individuals with disabilities or elderly family members in their own home. RCAP Solutions administers this program in collaboration with the Massachusetts Rehab Commission, MRC, and the Community Economic Development Assistance Corporation, CDAC. So the type of modifications, I'll just give you a few examples, can be, for example, ramps, stair lifts, bathroom modifications, therapy, sensory spaces, fences, and other modifications that will have an impact or help out in regards to the disability. Next slide, please. So the loans range from anywhere from $1,000 up to $50,000 per property. So there is a promissory note and a lien placed on the home. However, the loan is a 0% interest loan. It is deferred payments. Basically what that means, yes, you heard it correctly. It's a 0% interest loan. There is no monthly payments required and there is no interest that accumulates. You can live in the home for 10, 20, 30, 50 years and never make a payment. So I know that sounds too good to be true, but that is the program. We don't want to put financial burden on the families. So that's one of the big helpful parts of the program. So how do you pay back the loan? Well, one day if you sell the property, just like any loan, you can pay it back. If there is any property title changes that could, but not for sure, you would have to pay the loan back, but that there is some stipulations that can come into play if that happens, and you can still keep the 0%, no monthly payments, but we can go in more details on that if it arises. Homeowners hire the contractor that will modify the home. The contractor must be licensed and insured in the state of Massachusetts. We do have a list of contractors that we can provide if you're looking for one. You're not required to use anyone from the list. However, the contractors on the list know the program. They've done projects, and so they're familiar with the structure, the payment structure, and everything that the program entails. So I also mentioned landlords are also could participate. If a landlord owns fewer than 10 units, they may be eligible for a 3% loan for a tenant. However, if the tenant is a family member, they might qualify for a 0% interest loan also. We do also offer loans for manufactured or mobile homes. The loan amount for this type of structures is from $1,000 up to $30,000. And the same terms apply in terms of the lien and so on. It's a 0% interest loan, deferred payments, and so on. So it's the same type of structure. It's just the loan amount is going to be less. Next slide, please. So the Home Modification Loan Program does have some income guidelines, but they are very generous. As you can see, a family of one, you can make up to $228,400 and still qualify. A family of three, you can make almost $294,000 and qualify for the program. So the main focus is to focus on the beneficiary with a disability. So again, the guidelines for income, they are pretty generous. The application process, you can download an application if you go to the website. As you can see, the applications are reviewed in a timely manner as soon as possible. They, first come, first served basis. However, we try to get things done as soon as possible, but there is a process that we have to go through. The faster we get a complete application, there's a checklist of items that is needed, so the process can move, sooner than later, depending on how much of the completed application I receive. The items required as part of the application, verification of household size, the gross income, the professional certification. For example, page 12 of the application, it's called a professional form. That is to be completed by the medical provider for the beneficiary. Basically give us a diagnosis. They can make comments, recommendations. If a child, for example, has autism, they can recommend, based on the diagnosis, that a fence might be helpful, and, in case they bolt, they have a way of bolting, and so on. So the professional form, that's very important part of the application also, because that will determine what may be eligible, what may not be eligible. We do verify also state income taxes and property taxes if they're paid. So we do request a copy of the state taxes, and we require a proof that the real estate taxes are current. If they're not paid, it doesn't mean you're not going to qualify. It just means that if you have a payment schedule, that would help, but we would need some sort of documentation as to what the game plan is, in terms of repaying the back taxes. And a copy of the deed is also going to be required, but that usually you don't have to search for it. I will pull the deed. If you do have it, that's great. If not, I will pull the deed anyways. I will double check. But if there is an issue with the deed, I will, let the applicant know that if I can't pull it or something's situation, then I would request that they get a deed, a proof of deed. Next slide, please. So these next slides will show the type of projects that, you can see them if they're finished, like the bathroom modification, the kitchen modification. There's a stair lift for individuals with mobility issues, for example. You can install a stair lift, ramps, sensory therapy spaces, accessory dwelling units. They look pretty good. Also generators, walkways, driveways. These are all possible modifications, and these are like the finished product, as they say. Next slide. And here I am. If you need to contact me, there's my phone number. That's my email. You can reach out to me. I will help with the application process from A to Z. Once we get a full application, complete application, what I would do is submit it for approval, and we'll go from there. Then the process kind of begins from there also. And now I'm open to any questions.
I have a few questions.
Yeah.
So I know you said that the loan 0% interest and there's no monthly payment. So I work with a lot of older adults that they're single in their home, and they pass away in their home. How does that loan get paid back? Is that after the sale of the home? Does that a chunk of money go to you guys, or how does that, if someone passes away in their home and they're single, how does that loan get paid back?
If they don't have a will, if they don't have anyone else, that, it'll go through probate.
Okay.
So I mean, hopefully it doesn't happen too often, but
Right.
I mean, if typically if they have some sort of, you know, plans, an
Right.
attorney, or if they have I don't know, some sort of planning accordingly, then that would go into effect. So it's kind of hard to just give you there is no one right answer. But
Yeah.
if they have like family members who are going to be inheriting it, or if they're going to be taking over, if they're going to have kids, maybe move into the house. I mean, if they're going to sell it, but eventually, if the house is sold, then yeah, they pay back the loan. But how is that going to happen? It all depends on the situation. If it's
Correct.
going to go through probate, because when it goes through probate and they're going to start looking to sell it, and then they're going to look at who's got liens on the property, who's going to, you know, there's a whole host of that is legal stuff now. So hopefully they don't leave themselves in a situation where, you know, like
Right.
that, where it has to go to probate, but you know, you can't control what planning people do or don't.
Right. Another question, if there's a lien on the house when the loan program processes and everything, and let's say an older adult wants to pay that loan back, is the lien off of the house after that?
If the loan is paid back in full, then we would do a discharge letter. We
Okay.
would send a discharge letter to the homeowner. That we don't do discharge ourselves, then the homeowner can get his attorney, or they can go down to the town and provide the discharge letter. Then the lien would be taken off. But we don't do the physical discharge ourselves, but we will provide the discharge letter so that can happen.
Okay. So, okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Anything else? I think we're out of questions here, but I did have a couple other people sign up, so any information you can send via email. I can think of one person in particular who really might qualify and want some of the modifications for a spouse.
Yeah.
That would be great. I'll pass that along to her.
Yeah. I mean, the program is like everyone's situation is somewhat different and unique.
Yeah.
So sometimes we have to have more discussion about a particular situation.
Yeah.
You know, there are times when property will be sold, there's not enough equity. So what happens? You know, obviously then the loans could be reduced, could be forgiven. There is possibility of so many situations happening. If the transfer is titled to the kids, and the kids are going to live in there, for example, that's a possibility that you don't have to repay the loan. There's so many factors that can, you know, go either way. Let's put it that way. But the main thing is, that's why an application, once we get the application, we kind of look at that particular situation versus, you know, so that way we can put more context exactly what is going on.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll send the flyer, the brochure, the application and everything.
Yeah, we'll put them around. Great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sounds
Adam,
like a great program.
Adam, could you also include me too?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, thanks so much for doing this for us.
No problem. If you have any
Yeah.
questions, you can always reach out to us.